Yes, welcome to this new video. You're watching G-Series. Today we're back with another Bitcoin update. Let's start this video a little different than normally. Instead of going straight into the charts, let's look first at the macro environment by looking at the GDP, the interest rates, the unemployment rate, inflation rate, and then go back to the charts to look at some indicators and look at the recent price action, see which scenario played out this month, and then draw some scenarios for the coming month, December 2026, the last month of the year. How we're going to end this year. All very interesting questions, so let's dive right in. I want to start by looking at the GDP. As you can see, GDP here has been negative, which is not a good sign. That's not good for the economy, of course. And then last data that was from September was pretty strong, strongest one that we've seen in a year. So that is good. But we have to keep an eye on this, see how it's developing. The expectations of companies and people is that the economy is slowing down and the economy is not growing that much. So yeah, that is not a really good point. Also, if you look at the unemployment rate, last couple of months it's been rising. It keeps on rising. In September it is at 4.4% in the US, which is the highest one in a year. If you look at the last 3 years, it has been rising ever since as at the highest point in 3 years. If you look at 5 years, it's different because we had a COVID, of course, but it was very high unemployment. But yeah, this trend of the last 3 years is not good, and it's worrying investors a little bit. At the same time, we can see that the inflation is right now at 3%. And the last couple of months, this has been rising as well, which is a little bit of a strange situation where we have rising unemployment and a weak economy, but at the same time inflation. People think this is because of the tariffs that President Trump has been playing with this year, which causes supply chain disruptions. And while the demand is still pretty steadily, but there is less supply because of the higher cost, that makes inflation go up. But yeah, the Fed has a very important decision to make. What is it going to do with the interest rate? Because we see unemployment rising. That would normally indicate that the Fed has to step in and boost the economy by lowering the interest rate. But by lowering the interest rate, people also think that is going to boost the economy and make inflation rise even more, which is of course not what we want. So what is the Fed going to do? Let's take a look. The next FOMC meeting is in 17 days, where Jerome Powell is going to talk about their economic policies. And as of today, the consensus is, or the forecast is, that there's 71% chance of a rate cut and a 30% chance that there's not going to be a rate cut. So it looks like the Fed is going to prioritize getting this unemployment under control. And it's going to be a very interesting speech, what Jerome Powell is going to say in December. Very important to take a look at. So, interesting macro environment. If you look at the interest rate, we've come from very high ones, around 5.5%. Then in 2025, it's been very, very steadily. In the last couple of months, we have been, the Fed has been lowering rates. Right now we're at 4%, and there is a 70% chance we'll get another rate cut in December. So, very interesting what's going to happen with that. Is it going to boost inflation even more? Or if it's going to be positive and make unemployment go down, and that way boosting the economy, that would be good for investings. But that's enough for the macro environment right now. Let's dive into my favorite part, the charts, of course. So looking at Bitcoin on a quarterly, we see that we normally have 1-2 green quarters and then a red quarter, 2 green, red, 2 green, red, 2 green. We can see that this quarter has been pretty red right now with October, November. This last quarter of 2026, we've been going down by minus 24% already. If you measure all the way from the all-time high, around 125k, we've been going down by over 35%. So that is quite scary for a lot of people. We'll look later in a bit, also at the fear and greed index, where we can see that the fear is pretty high right now. But yeah, this bull market, is it over, is it not over? If we keep this pattern going, we would expect this quarter to close in the red but get 2 green quarters after that. On the other hand, timing wise, with the stages that I've drew in based on the halvings, like this 4-year cycle, maybe that's still valid, where we see the bull market, bear market, and then a quiet phase leading up to the next halving. This is looks to be still true. If this is going to turn into a bear market, we'll have to zoom in a bit more to look at the price. So let's go to the monthly, and on the monthly you can see like November so far has been down by -20%, which we haven't seen a lot since last year. Like here, February this year was -70%, and yeah, apart from that, we haven't seen that big of a monthly decrease in the price. We can see one interesting candle here, August 2024, where we also went down by a lot, but it got bought up again. It was also -20%, but then we got a bounce and we only ended with -10%. So that's also still a scenario, like if something really bullish happens, we could see a quick bounce as well, where we make up a lot of this losses. Very interesting to see. What I am looking at is these lows. The bull market for me is still intact as long as we keep printing these higher lows and higher highs. And the higher highs are of course on the top side, and so far this is still a higher low. The momentum is decreasing, which is not a strong side, and I don't expect this bull market to last very, very long. I'm still a believer of this bear market, bull market, 4-year cycle. So I think it's very likely that we're going to a bear market. Timing wise, as we have seen in the last video, it's also this would have probably been the peak of the bull market. So that's very interesting. I haven't sold yet, so it is very, very stupid. Very very ignorant of me, but it's a good learning moment for next time to take profits on the way up, so you can buy more on the way down. On the other hand, I have not been buying a lot the last couple of months, so I've saved up some cash, which I could put in the market right now. I'm not doing it yet. I'm still waiting. If we really get into the bear market, then I would buy in way lower. Let's do also a prediction how big this bear market is going to be in this video. But first, look at some indicators. This was one of the indicators I was looking at. It hasn't peaked yet, but as you can see, we've got various divergence playing out, and the RSI is now dropping heavily as well, which is almost getting into a very good buying zone opportunity. Like if the RSI gets this low, the RSI, then it's a very good buying opportunity. So that's what I'm going to keep an eye on right now. If we look at the MACD, we can see that this bearish crossover right there, and that happened here as well in history. It happened here as well. Here was a bullish crossover, 2 bullish crossovers actually. Go even further in history, here in 2014 we've seen bearish crossover. If you look what the price action does after these crossovers, we can see it usually confirms the bear market, where we see the drop and then we get the bearish crossover. Trend continues, trend continues, trend continues. So this is one sign, one indicator that signals the start of the bull market, the confirmation, where we could see a big decrease in the price, which I'm not afraid of. Like, I know this is what can happen with Bitcoin, but on the other hand, I'm a little bit sad that I didn't take profit, even though I could have taken like 30% profit or 50% profit on my positions. That would have been so much better than to stay in position and having to write it all down. but I'm not scared, and I would be happy if the price goes down by a lot so I can buy in even more. But very disappointing that, yeah, I didn't take profit and that I cannot put in that profit back into the market when it's lower, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's it for the MACD. Let's delete it. RSI, we've taken a look at it as well. Then we could zoom in a bit more into the weekly. And into the weekly, yeah, it's more clearly. You can see very clearly that the price action here was rolling over. I saw this happening. I've said it in previous videos and I didn't act on it, which is really, yeah, once again, stupid of me. You can see the risk is increasing, so at that point, next time in the future, I should take some profit. The lows that I've been looking at, as you can see, we've now tested back the start of that impulse and we find a little support as of right now. On the other hand, this dump is not losing momentum yet. It keeps on increasing, so yeah, really interesting what we're going to do in December. Are we going to hold on to this support level or are we going to break it? Very important to keep an eye on that. And I think once we break it, then yeah, that could be the bear market. And this whole region here is very interesting. There's a lot of support and volume laying in this region. It's also matching with the previous highs of the last bull market. So I would start buying again below this low, and I even expect Bitcoin to go even lower than 50k. And yeah, this would be the ultimate box from 50k to 30k. I would say for the bear market to bottom out. I'll explain where this is based on in a bit, but let's finish all the indicators. I want to look at the MMAs. These bands, we can see the bear market usually always ends on this red line, and that red line right now is at 45k, but it will keep increasing a bit, so yeah, that could indicate that the bear market will be at 50k. And let me check one thing. No worries. I think the white line is the 50 MA, and in the bull market we see that 50 MA is normally support. Yeah, right now we broke below it, so that's also one confirmation that the bear market is starting. In previous bear markets we always retested that line as well, so we could expect maybe a little relief rally, a little bounce where we test back this 50 MA and then start the bear market and make this lower high. That's that relief rally. That would be one last opportunity to take some profit off the table. But right now I would not sell. Like we've been dropped by 35%. Right now we're at minus 30%. I'm not gonna sell anything right now. I've got some cash on the sidelines that I'm not investing yet. I'm gonna see how the macro environment develops and how this price is gonna develop. Right now it doesn't look like we're changing this recent downtrend. To me it looks more that we're starting the bear market and continuing the downtrend for some time. Then this last indicator I want to take a look at is super trend, which always was a good indicator for a bull market, and when it switches to red, that would be the bear market. And as you can see, we've had a very long bull market time, but we've switched bearish right here. So yeah, that is also one more confirmation of the downtrend starting. So yeah, indicators are indicating the end of the bull market, timing wise as well. Yeah, I think the last confirmation you can wait for is the lose of this lower high. Then this whole higher time frame bull market is the trend switches then. But my vision right now is I don't really give a shit about bull market or bear market, whatever the name's gonna be. I did not sell. I didn't take any profits ever, which is really good learning moment for next time. And I'm prepared to start buying soon and place some orders here and here, and also be prepared to go down to 30k in the worst case scenario. If you look at the CBBI, that one has not peaked yet, which I was also looking at, and which was one of the reasons why I didn't sell. Like this RSI, CBI were two major indicators I took a look at, and because they didn't flash, I didn't take my profit. But that's something I can take into consideration next time as well, to not only depend on the indicators but also on price action and on market market sentiment. If we look at the market sentiment right now, the fear and greed index, we see extreme fear. Now, yesterday, last week, last month fear, we are at 13, which is very low. If you look at the last year, we haven't seen this low, this much fear since February 2025. And as you can see, all time, this much fear does not happen often, and are usually very good buying opportunities. So it could be that right now is a pretty good buying opportunity. If you look at the RSI, it's also pretty low on the weekly. It's at 36. We've seen 36 right here, which was the bear market bottom. We've seen 36 right here, which was the COVID crash, which led to a big impulse. This bear market led to a big impulse. We've seen 36. Here we went below 36 as well, which was also one of the bear markets. So when we could draw this line that if we go down all the way to 30, that would definitely be a good moment to buy a little bit more. On the other hand, these bear markets normally last a year, so we could see a year-long downtrend that goes down all the way to 50k or maybe even lower. Enough about that. Now let's talk about some technical analysis about real price action, just without any indicators. Last time, what did I draw in? These are the scenarios I drew in. If we look at the maybe 4 hours more clearly. Oh shit. What the hell did I do? Yeah, this is better. No, this is not better. Get rid of the other side. Yeah, okay, this is okay. Why did this change to the other side? What the hell did I do? Right, let's refresh trading view. Hopefully that works. Yeah. Alright, the scenarios that I drew. We are back 4 hours. 4 hour chart. Alright, so we were, I think, around here, where I was like, okay, I expect as we could see ILO here, and then break this resistance, and then see maybe a test of the all-time high. This bullish scenario didn't break out. What happened is we found resistance and we lost the low, and we created a lower low, and then we support turned into resistance. We tested it back, then this bear market started. Also, this would have been a signal to take some profit off the table. That would have been the last moment to a good moment to sell something when I was thinking about it in the last video, but I didn't do it, and nothing we can change about it now. Then we've started this major downtrend with only lower highs and lower lows. Right now we can see a little relief rally, but I would look at this resistance level and see what happens there. That would be the first bullish signal Bitcoin can do right now. What have we tested back? We found liquidity above this start of this impulse that brought us to the all-time high, so it would be a good level to find some support, but we need way more price action and some patience to see how this price is going to develop. And one of the most important signals for me is, are we going to break this resistance, or are we going to keep printing that lower high and then go down even more? We'll have to see how that's going to play out. Then let's quickly draw in the scenarios for December. and then I'll do a prediction for the bear market in case we still have this 4-year cycle that is intact, where the bear market bottom could be. And then we're gonna end this video because it's already taking pretty long, or 20 minutes. So okay, let's draw some levels. First level is this level. It's more like a region, but roughly this level of 80k, which is support is this higher low of the big bull market, which you want to see as support. If you go back to the 4 hours, we have a lot of resistance above us. The first one we'll see is this high in the market, and then another important level, of course, which is right now very far away, but this level, the support, we turn into resistance, this high. And I think here in the middle, this one is also quite important. So yeah, a lot of resistance above us. Most bullish scenario right now would be if we, of course, are going to test the resistance, maybe make it higher low, then break the resistance, and yeah, reverse this downtrend into a little uptrend, a relief rally. We could test back this 105k level. Could be a good moment to take some profit. Then this is one scenario. Then the next scenario is we are not gonna break that level. We'll find resistance and we're gonna continue the downtrend, lose this support as well, and then we'll just go into a massive we go into a massive bear market, I would say, but there's a lot of support here as well. So yeah, this is very interesting for people that are not into Bitcoin. A very good moment to start buying, start a DCA. Like a lot of opportunities are coming right now. Like basically Bitcoin is on a 30% discount, which gives massive opportunities. If you buy and we make a new all-time high here at 87k, that would be 45% gain, 45% profit, which is insane. So yeah, that's also what you have to think about. The more we go down, the more profit there's going to be made in the future, because Bitcoin hasn't changed. Nothing about Bitcoin, the whole concept, everything is still the same. It's just sentiment. Like people have fears about this unemployment rate, about the economy. We've had this AI boom, maybe a little bit of a bubble that could be like bursting, and that just creates a lot of fear in the market, and then this risk on assets like Bitcoin and crypto sell off and causes this major corrections. But it gives good opportunities for people with cash on the sidelines. So yeah, buying would be good. Even maybe if you create some little range or some little price action here, I would be down to buy a little bit of Bitcoin. But I think as soon as we make a big rally to the upside, I think it would also be nice for me to take off some profit. So in case we really get that year-long bear market, then I can, I have some big money I can put into market again and make more profit. But I'm not gonna step out of Bitcoin completely. I still believe in the long term, and I think this 125k is gonna one day be broken as well. Could be next year. For me, most probable scenario is that this 4-year cycle is going to continue, and that we see a year-long bear market until the next summer, so like end of the summer 2026, and then start a new bull market again. Enough time to get some cash and buy a lot. Enough talking. This I'm going to put it right now into the scenarios for next month. This bear market bottom, I expected. Where did I draw it? I expect this bear market to be here around the end of the summer 2026, and to be at around 25 to 30k. And I would start buying around this region, around 65k could be good moment to start putting some buy orders in. But be prepared for dip all the way to 30k. Why? Because if we measure in bear markets from last times, this bear market was minus 80%, 85%. This bear market was minus 76%. This bear market was also minus 80%. So if you get a bear market from 125k of 80%, that would be like around the 30k. 80% would be 20k, but I don't see that happening. I think we're gonna get a 60 to 70% bear market, so that would bring us to the 30k level. So that's where the levels come from. This bear market is based on the timings. We can see normally after a bull market we see the bear market bottom. 50 weeks later it was there. In this bear market it was around 50 weeks as well, 60 weeks. Here it was 56 weeks. So if we go with around 50-60 weeks, we would be here in that summer of 2026. That is the scenario I would draw in, and would be the golden zone to buy Bitcoin. So I would be prepared for that. On the other hand, this major uptrend, price action wise, is not broken yet. Indicators are showing weakness in bear markets. The economy is not looking that weak either, and a lot of things to keep an eye on as always. And my tip for myself: next time take profit and just get ready to buy in again, because these corrections are not something to be afraid or stressed about. These are golden opportunities. If you keep your head calm and play it smart, you can make major profit out of these market conditions. So that is it for this video. I think the longest one I ever made, but very helpful. Very good information in my opinion. So that's it, and see you next time. Ciao.